there you are. Hello. How? Why do I say how? I believe that how comes from ni hao, because I believe that the first Americans were actually Chinese who travelled eastwards and eventually hit or maybe even northeastwards, and eventually hit the northeast coast of America, or maybe even Canada, according to, is it Dr. Roberts, who does the genealogy thing, or the origin of the human species. And she says that basically they travelled, eventually making settlements down the coast of America to become the Native Americans. And it's possibly a coincidence, or more than coincidence, that when the Chinese say ni hao, which means hello, how are you, that if those settlers in America shortened it to how, hello. That's my theory. Anyway, so wherever you're from, hello, welcome. We say hola, second most popular language in the world, bonjour, and ni hao. We are looking at the Daoist Arts. Now, the Daoist breathing is one of the most important things. In the next video I will actually show you the Daoist breathing exercise. But I would just like to make a couple of important points that you need to know. I'll try and keep it short, because I'm told that people nowadays have a very short attention span, just like little children. Can't be true, surely. Cannot be true. How come the world sells so many books? Okay. Daoist breathing is very important. It's based on thousands and thousands of years of study and exercise, observation on the results, and then development. I am what they call a Daoist Arts practitioner. I study the arts, I study the exercises. I've actually studied a lot more different things besides philosophy, psychology and sociology, various Eastern beliefs or ways, diet, some traditional medicine, yoga or yogas, and basically lots and lots of other things, but we don't need to go into that. So just to give you the idea that there's this broad scope of knowledge that's gone into it. And I've settled with the Daoist Arts because I personally think that the Daoist Arts are the bee's knees in the world. And I really do think that they are the very best of the best. Why? Partially because they've been around 10,000 years, partially because they've they all use the philosophy, the Daoist philosophy, which is not a religion, it's the philosophy on the universe and the way that the universe works. Okay? By using that philosophy we can simplify things, we can describe things as being either yin or yang, a fire element or a metal element, and it really helps to explain exactly how things relate to each other as well. So that's one of the beauties of it. But the real beauty of the Daoist Arts is that they work. We don't need to know how it works. In China, traditionally in China, they would say if it works, use it. If it doesn't work, forget it. Okay? So originally in China, many people wouldn't have said like, oh, teacher, Shih-fu, or Shih-fu. How does this work? Why does that work? What are we doing here? Why are we doing that? In Europe and UK and America, that's common. People are a lot more inquisitive as to what's going on and why it's going on. This is why there's kind of like sayings like you start off, I forget what it is actually, Bruce Lee used one in one of his films where you start off, I know what it was, yeah. First of all, it's just a punch, and then you learn how to punch. You learn the correct dimensions of a punch. You learn exactly the placing, where the elbow goes, where the shoulder goes, where the eyes are focusing. So it becomes much more than just a punch. And then, when you've been doing it for years, it's just a punch. So if it helps you to understand, that's fine. But the main point is study. Practice is the study that we want here. Not reading books all the time, not looking at other videos all the time. Practice, that is your study. Okay, that's what study means, is to get on with the subject. Tianji Dao has been established quite a long while, and I was very lucky enough to be invited by a Daoist Arts master called Professor Su to his teacher's training classes. I was looking for a Daoist Arts master. My spirit guides led me to one basically, and he very kindly invited me to his teacher's training classes. What a wonderful experience that was, to be able to find a true Daoist Arts master who can teach you many, many different things. I'm still trying to learn after all these years. At one point he had a shop lent to him by one of his students. He helped one of his male students who had health problems, and this guy was so grateful for the simple help that he gave him. Advice on diet, some simple exercises, maybe a bit of Qigong, possibly a bit of acupressure, or maybe even a little bit of Qi healing. That this man said to Professor Shih-fu one day, well, I have an empty shop on Edgware Road in London. You have lots of people that you heal. He was seeing them for free. He had over 5,000 people that he saw for free in between his full-time job and in between teaching. He saw these people for free, and many of these were people who the NHS just said, like, there's no hope. Take these drugs, go home, take these drugs. You're going to get worse. You're going to end up whatever, blah, blah, blah. And these people were quite obviously not happy about that. Word gets around, and various people said, oh, go see that little Chinese man. And he got this shop on Edgware Road, and of course, like some of the women, I think women are wonderful in the way that they bandy around and help. They help each other or help somebody else or whatever, and form little groups and kind of get things organised or whatever. That's a wonderful trait. Bear that in mind, gentlemen, bear that in mind. So basically, a lot of women and even a couple of blokes helped him to organise this shop on Edgware Road, where he had, I think he had over 2,000 or 3,000 people on his books in that one particular premises. And he used traditional Daoist art only. No drugs, no surgery, nothing else. People came to him and said, what would you do for this, or how would you cope with this? And he said, first of all, I need to know more. I need to fully understand what the conditions are. Then I can tell you what I think would be best for it. And you make that personal choice, you go ahead and do it. And virtually all of those people discovered that they made a good choice. Okay. So the Daoist arts have been established for around 10,000 years. Much information was lost in China with various emperors and various people who have destroyed books, right up to Chairman Mao, etc. They've all destroyed information, tried to change information. In the recent years, folklore has more or less been changed and, if you like, written out and replaced with various bits of trivia that don't really matter too much. But the Daoist arts remain, and they always will remain, because there are literally hundreds of thousands of people around the world practicing the Daoist arts. And there are hundreds and thousands of people like me who teach the Daoist arts, not for profit, but because we love it, because we've gained from it ourselves, and because we are willing to help somebody else for free. No big houses, no flash cars like most of the doctors or whatever, you know. Just love what you do, and that's the whole thing. If it's in your heart, then allow it to come out. As the Tai Chi master said in San Francisco, I believe he was the one based in San Francisco or somewhere around that way, please steal my art. Okay, so my name is Mike Simons. I publish books under Life Force Publishing, and you can see our website at www.ttkungfu.com. Okay. Emails are welcome, questions are welcome, but the main thing that's really welcome is to see you learn and practice. Enjoy.